I know that the Legacy Fort Wayne Task Force met last night. I haven't had a chance to go back and look at any of the recommendations that's come out of that. I think it was a final meeting. Um, how do you feel about that whole process of gathering community input? Do we spend the funds? Do we bank them? You know, what are your feelings on?
Well, I have been following the process, but I've not had a chance to fully digest what their recommendations were from last night. So I don't particularly want to comment on that because I think that would be premature for me to do. I do think that it's good to have had lots of citizen involvement in that process, and not only the task force, but also the nearly 1,000 ideas and proposals that were submitted to the task force from members of the public here in Fort Wayne. So, you know, it's an exciting opportunity. It's not the kind of discussion that other communities get to have right now. Other communities get to talk about how many firefighters they're going to lay off. You know, we get to talk about what's the best thing to do with $75 or $80 million. I mean, do you bank it? Do you spend it? What do you spend it on? You know, and that's people have very strong opinions on that, and many people have shared their opinions with me, and I appreciate that. I'm confident whatever we do will make a lot of people mad. But I think that the most important thing to keep an eye on is that we get to have that discussion. You know, and that's because of farsightedness and foresightedness from Mayor Lebemoff back almost 40 years ago. And because, frankly, of the tenacity of Mayor Henry in continuing those negotiations with I&M. So I think those two gentlemen are due the lion's share of the credit to be able to then have this discussion. So we can all get mad and argue with each other about what's the best thing to do with this money. I really appreciate the service that the folks who have spent months and months and months on this task force, maybe close to a year, I think, that they've actually been meeting, or perhaps a year. And put an enormous amount of time and energy to come up with their best set of recommendations. And so I'm going to be reviewing this very carefully and see where we go from there.